Naughty Dog, one of the most honored video game studios to create Mass Jam, Keep the Thief, and Rings of Power. Games that are still talked about and played to this day. Oh, and I guess they also created Crash, Jack, Uncharted, and The Last of Us, but man, who was not waiting for Mass Jam 2? I heard amazing things about Uncharted series, but the first game in the series is not really talked about. But like, why? It's so well-made, people actually played it, and it got a freaking 88 on Metacritic, so it was good. So why?
Just review it, you dumbass.
The game's base story is really simple. A 30-ish-year-old man called Nathan Drake searching for the lost treasure of El Dorado. And surprise, there's obstacles in his way. Ellie sends people to help Sully and Alina. Sully promotes smoking, and Alina would rather kill herself than lose her camera. Okay, that's only partially true. Out of nowhere, I'm just gonna say the controls are good. First, run and walk. His run and walk, even if not super special awesome, is good. You should make your character Sonic fast, but fast enough. Sometimes, and I mean sometimes, Drake is a little slow. The scale of the place is not really balanced with his speed all the time. And I mean, it's only a problem in the first and third chapter, but like, still a problem, meaning points down for you. Also, the gunplay, if that's a word, is good, but that's nothing compared to, wow, that's satisfying. Really satisfying. By satisfying, I don't really mean it's satisfying to pull out. I mean satisfying the look and the animation. The non-weapon combat is a good part about the game. Like, I wouldn't suck it, but it's good. And complain about the controls. The grenade throwing kind of sucks. It's supposed to be realistic, but man, it doesn't feel good to throw. It feels like garbage throw, for a lack of a swear word. Look at this, it might not be that bad, and maybe I'm exaggerating, but come on, man. I'm like, come on. Good thing you don't really have to use it to beat the game. It's recommended to make it easier, but you don't have to use it. That's probably a testament to how bad the AI is. And no, I'm not playing the game on crushing.
Ha! And he calls himself a gamer.
They all change the damage you deal and take. Some difficulty settings change more than that though. On baby mode, you get an aim assist. On crushing, or basically very hard, not only do you deal half the damage, but you also take double the damage. And also some tutorials are disabled, tweaks are disabled, the ability to spawn weapons from the menu is also disabled. Wow, what? Wait, what? Could have done that? Which, hey, it's a pretty cool thing. Like, customizes your gamer experience. Good thing. If I remember well, the last move I didn't mention was the swimming. Like, come on, what is this? It's freaking trash. If I remember well, the last move I didn't mention, and don't want to mention, is the swimming. But, look, what is this? It's, freaking trash. What is the speed? At least you don't have to swim that often, but, being too negative? Nah. Probably my biggest complaint. The first half of the game is mostly boring and uninteresting gameplay-wise. And by the first half, I mean the first 7 chapters of the game. The chapter lengths aren't really consistent. Heck, I'm gonna tell you what happens in those chapters because they're not interesting. First chapter, you're on a boat and there's a bunch of people that want to kill you on that boat. Second chapter, you go on a jungle and somewhere underground. Third chapter, wow, half of it is interesting, meaning I'm not gonna spoil it. 4. You go back to this jungle place and more people want to kill you. 5th chapter, nearly the same as the 4th one. 6th one, half of the previous chapter. 7th chapter, and another... Wait, what? Another interesting one. Before you say...
Hey, Delici, you complimented 2 chapters out of the 7 chapters.
Well, you also might also say...
Hey, there's a big enough variety of things you could do, or why are you bashing it?
I'm gonna answer both of those questions. First, I complimented 2 of the 7 chapter statement. I'll be honest and say this. For 1 chapter, I complimented half of it, and they aren't really that interesting. I didn't spoil them because they were at least remotely interesting. They weren't wow, they're just remotely interesting. And for the second question...
Hey, there's a big enough variety of things you could do.
Well, there's not. So, yeah, the first half of the game is kinda something, but how about the second half? And the second half is actually decent. Starting from the 8th chapter, the game is more consistently good. To talk about it, I'll obviously have to get into spoilers, even if this is a 14-year-old game, but like, still, Here's your escape. As I said, the game isn't consistently good. Half of the game is good, but half isn't. So, yeah, that screams inconsistent. You ride a freaking boat. Man, after going from a cool chapter 7, you go right in and give us a cool chapter 8, which is amazing in concept. The idea of riding a boat is phenomenal, but the execution is okay. As in, the boat's controls aren't really precise, but I give it brownie points for trying. Chapter 9 is similar to Chapter 6. You're not helping my point. Zenoki. Chapter 10, wow! A new theme. That's cool. Chapter 11, oh my gosh, Alina loses her camera. Chapter 12, hey hey hey, the boat is back, and the controls are bad as ever. Chapter 13, you explore this cool dark place, which I mistaken for a cemetery. Chapter 14, you go underground from the cemetery place. Chapter 15, you go back to the cemetery. Chapter 16, what the heck, this looks actually cool. Chapter 17, yo, like zombies? Chapter 18, more zombies, not complaining. Chapter 19, okay, no, wait, more zombies? Chapter 20, basically just more people that want to kill you, like really nice guys. Chapter 21, Captain Anime Betrayals. Chapter 22, terrible final boss. But as you can see or hear, the game is consistently bringing out cool stuff at its own merit. I'm aware that it's not really awesome, like compared to the first half of the game, it's a big step up. You go from a boat to a cool rock place to a cemetery to zombies. It's not wow, I love it, but especially compared to the first half, it's way better. Let's just say it's more consistent and has more diversity, and it has a terrible ending chapter. I don't want to talk too much, but man, you beat a few guys and then you quote unquote stealth your way into kicking this guy's balls, and then this guy headbutts you, and then you beat him again, and then he falls, and then you go to Alina, and then you tell her if she got the weed, and then she says, Kaiba took it! And then Drake gets enraged, so he kills him. That's not exactly what happens, but it's close enough. And about the story, it's entertaining. It won't blow your mind, but hey, it's entertaining. 2 more compliments relate to stuff that aren't the gameplay. The graphics are pretty good for early PS3 standards, and while the music is a bit better than okay, I don't regularly listen to the music after I play the game. So overall, do I recommend you to play this game? Yes and no. I would recommend you to play it because you will have a higher enjoyment of Uncharted 2, which that is a masterpiece and you absolutely need to play it. The reason why I'd say maybe not is because the game is just okay. I'm not saying it's a bad game, it's just okay.